We are so excited to have you. So I've just told the room, and maybe you missed it, that we're moving in the right direction with the reduction of emissions by 2035, but that we're pretty far off track to reach the 60% that we need to avoid exceeding the 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold. I'm depressed about it. We don't have a lot of time to talk today, but I'm wondering, how are things down there? Is there anything going on that's giving you hope? Can you cheer me up a little bit?
Well, I'm depressed about that too, so I'm not sure if I can cheer you up. But I think there are some good things. You know, we're talking a lot about adaptation, which is really important now because if we're not so hopeful that we're gonna get to the 60%, we need to work in the scenario that we have. I think this edition of COP is really interesting because it's, after three COPs in without protesters and stuff like this, we had a lot of march here and indigenous peoples protesting and participating. Many countries here. Some actually we have a lot of money already been announced for the funds. So we have a little hope. You know that COP is a process. It's not only one event, and we are starting roadmaps. And when we get to diplomatic events, every comma counts in the decision. So we are kind of hopeful. Yes, it's actually seems to be better than we thought in the beginning. The COP itself. And
That
one
is
thing that's
nice.
really important that the credit unions are here. I am here in one of the spaces of the Brazilian organizations of cooperativism, and we had more than 40 panels at COP.
Wow.
Many cases, from credit unions and other cooperatives. So we are starting to be seen as part of the solution, you know, and this is really important, I think, for our movement.
That's great. There's something in there, at least a glimmer of hope. So you talk about COP is a process, right? This is COP 30. We're going to continue to push this boulder up the hill. It's the first COP, unless I'm mistaken, that's taking place in the Amazon region. Obviously, this
Yes.
is your specialty in your backyard. What specifically is the geography of this COP playing a role in the discussions, and if so, how?
I think if we can say something, it's people have no idea of what the Amazon is, because the Amazon is huge, and people from other countries sometimes they just have no idea. So it's really important that's here. Belém is a huge city with 2 million inhabitants, and of course it's a really hot city. It rains all the time, so we were struggling with some air conditioning issues, for example. So some discussions were in rooms that started to get too hot and people were complaining. And some days the rain was so strong that leaked inside some buildings, Everything is actually going good, but sometimes a few issues came. And I think this is kind of good to know because this is what you face when you have climate change. If you're struggling with a hot room, imagine if you live in a really really hot town that is getting more and more difficult to live in every year with the temperature rising, or if you have problems with heavy rains and stuff and all the changes. So it was kind of let's feel what people are feeling a little bit. So I think it's kind of pedagogic,
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you bring people to where the effects are more extreme, and it maybe hits home a
Yes,
little more.
walk on their shoes.
Exactly. So I'm very interested to hear you say that there's a little bit more attention to financial cooperatives and credit unions there. Can you speak a little bit more to that? And we just have a couple minutes left, but I know people in the room love to hear about practical solutions. If there's anything that our folks joining us today can kind of take from COP that's coming out of those discussions about the role of credit unions and financial cooperatives at this moment.
I think all the finance and funding is a really big issue in all this discussion about the climate. And when we get the credit unions involved, we know that we have different interests because we are focused on social development. So if it, when it comes to talk about the Amazon, for example, the Amazon region, it's it would be like very naive just to say, oh, you have to preserve the trees and stuff. We need to give them this communities, these people, an alternative to for living. You know, how are they going to survive? How are they going to develop? So how can we find those solutions? In credit unions, while other institutions are running away and not coming to small towns, for example, we are opening our branches there and talking to people and understanding them and worried about the social development. So, for example, we have a very interesting program in the Amazon region for financing cocoa plantations, cocoa production, and chocolate production.
Yeah.
But the cocoa, it's amid the forest. You know, to produce cocoa, you don't have to chop down any tree. On the opposite, you even plant more trees, so you kind of reinforce the forest. So it's a really interesting culture here to be. You generate a lot of jobs because the all the harvesting is manual, and there is a good returns. You know, there are good returns, good interest. So it's a culture that is socially and environmentally and economically viable, and we are doing we're financing those small producers. You know, and it's really it was a case here that we presented. So this kind of solutions, you know, I think the credit unions are closer to the communities and they can understand their realities. They better understand their realities, and our interest is not so focused in the revenue. We don't have that
Right.
focus. So that's what makes the cooperatives and the credit unions part of the solution, not part of the problem.
That's amazing to hear. I'm detecting a theme already this morning. You're the second event on our calendar today, and for the second time, the relationship between financial cooperatives and agricultural cooperatives has come up
Yes.
down in the Amazon, specifically with cocoa, but we've been talking about other things all day. I see that it's very busy there, and I know that you've got things to get to. If there's interest in the audience, do you have time for one question, maybe? Or do you have
If
to
I
go?
can, if I'm able to answer, I'd love to.
Anyone have a question for Daniela from COP? I think people are just watching all the traffic. But here, we have one down here in the front. Daniela, what's the most urgent thing that's come up over your time down there? I know we're nearing the end of the event.
The most urgent thing, I think, is international funding,
Okay.
and also I'm really worried about the. You know, some countries may be running away from the Paris Agreement. This is something that worries, I think, everybody. But we are really happy to see many countries here and really in an effort, you know, to address these issues. But I think the most urgent is funding, financial, you know, the transitions and focus in the adaptation because we are gonna need adaptation for sure.
All right. Thank you so much for that perspective. Did you see Lula? Did he come by?
Oh, he's coming by today. I think he's probably here already. He's supposed to arrive any time now because you know it's almost the conference itself is almost it's heading to the end. and he's coming to see if they can, how do I say, when you need to unlock some negotiations and
Oh,
to get some good results. I'm not
got it.
I'm not sure if we get to see him because I think he's going to be only at the blue zone and we are the green zone right now, but it might happen.
Okay.
He's a very popular guy, so likes to walk around. We never know.
Yeah, this is what I understand. We were prepared for the entourage to walk through the frame behind you all the time we've been watching you on the camera.
I think he's probably getting here in like half an hour or something
Got
because he
it.
was getting to the airport I think 20 minutes ago or something. So he's probably not here in the building yet.
Okay, well, we can see all the activity there. I know you've got a lot going on. We will let you go. Thank you, Daniela, so much for your perspective. We can have a round of applause. It might make it through the mic to Daniela. We wish you
Thank
all the
you
best
really
for the
much.
closing moments of COP.
All the best for you too. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. And I apologize for, this quality and the balance, but it was the best we could do today.
You're speaking to us from another continent in the middle of the building. It's a technological marvel. No apology necessary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.